Welcome to episode 3, where we talk about all the real stuff no one tells you about building wealth. In this episode, we're diving into a topic that's often overlooked, but super important: how money can affect your relationships. Yep, I'm talking about jealousy, guilt, and everything in between. If you've ever wondered why your friends or family seem distant after your big financial success, this episode is for you. Here's the thing. As your wealth increases, so does the potential for strain in your relationships. It's not just about having more money. It's about the changes that money brings. People around you might feel jealous, entitled, or even disconnected from you. And trust me, it's not just about money. It's about the emotional and social shifts that come with it. Money can put you in the hot seat with friends and family, and often it's because people expect things from you, whether it's loans, gifts, or just their personal approval. Let's talk about jealousy first. It's normal to feel a little envious when someone in your circle has more than you, especially when that person was once in the same situation. Maybe you've experienced it firsthand. But here's the reality. Jealousy can damage relationships if left unchecked. When you start succeeding financially, some people might feel left behind. They start comparing their progress to yours, and it can make them uncomfortable. In some cases, this jealousy leads to passive-aggressive comments or distance. Ever heard things like, "Oh, you've got a lot of money now, huh?" Or "Must be nice to be rich"? That's jealousy creeping in, and it can be toxic if not addressed. Now let's talk about entitlement. Sometimes when you earn more, people in your circle might start to feel like you owe them. Maybe it's a family member asking for a loan, a friend thinking you'll pay for dinner all the time, or people expecting you to support their lifestyle. Listen, you don't have to feel guilty for having worked hard and earned your success. But there are boundaries you need to set. You can be generous without enabling unhealthy expectations. Here's a big one. Guilt. When you start making more money, you might feel guilty, especially if you're leaving your loved ones behind financially. Maybe you grew up in a humble home, and now you feel weird about spending money on things that others could never afford. Or perhaps you start feeling like you're bragging or rubbing it in. But here's the thing. You don't have to feel guilty for your success. If you've earned it, you deserve it. Just make sure you're using your wealth responsibly and not flaunting it in a way that makes others uncomfortable. Okay, now that we've laid the groundwork, let's talk about how to manage your relationships when money is on the line. Here are 5 tips to keep things healthy and balanced. First, set boundaries early. When you start earning more, make sure to set clear boundaries with family and friends. Be firm, but respectful. It's okay to say no if you're being asked for money or resources. Second, communicate openly. Talk about your financial success and how it impacts your relationship with others. Be transparent about what you can and can't do. Open conversations prevent misunderstandings. Third, share the wealth, but wisely. You don't have to spend all your money on your friends and family, but if you're in a position to help, do it thoughtfully. Small gifts or charity donations can go a long way in strengthening relationships. Fourth, avoid overcompensating. If you're feeling guilty, resist the urge to overcompensate by buying things for others. Instead, focus on building deeper, more meaningful connections that aren't based on material things. And finally, keep humility in check. Remember, just because you can buy the most expensive things doesn't mean you should. Humility goes a long way. Your relationships will thrive when people don't feel like you're constantly showing off. I've had my own moments where money put a strain on my relationships. There were friends who felt uncomfortable around me once I started making more, and it made things awkward. But what I realized is that money isn't just about the numbers. It's about how you handle it emotionally and how it fits into your life and relationships. The key is balance. Here's your action plan for handling relationships with money. Have a conversation with your closest family and friends about your success. Let them know how you plan to manage your finances and how it might affect the relationship. Set boundaries when it comes to money and don't be afraid to say no. Be mindful of how you display wealth. Keep it low-key and considerate of others' feelings. Use your wealth wisely. Support those who need help, but do so in a way that aligns with your values. So, there you have it. Money can absolutely affect your relationships, but it doesn't have to ruin them. With the right mindset and boundaries, you can maintain strong connections while still building your wealth. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below, telling us how you've handled the relationship rift with money. Don't miss our next episode 4, where we'll talk about the pressure of perfection when it comes to wealth. See you there.